a demonstration how to change the fuel filter, the Defco fuel filter for Volvos. A lot of Volvo has problem because this filter here gets full. You see the fuel level? When the fuel level reach that black mark, the fuel need to be changed. It says on it, if you pay attention to it, it says right there, when you reach this line, the filter need to be changed. So I'm gonna show you how to replace this filter without getting dirty. Easy way to do it and save a lot of problems down the road, get more power out of the truck. So what you need, you're gonna need a empty bottle, a bungee cord, the new filter, and the wrench. You do it, you change the filter with. Let's do it. All right, we get the bottle. I'm gonna try to use one hand. Get a bottle, get the bungee cord right through the handle. I want to show you something down here. Underneath here, you see this nipple? You make sure that you got a good position of the nipple. There it is. That's our nipple. So what I'm doing, I get this bungee cord hooked up in one of those holes here. Get the bottle. Let's see the bottle. Bottle goes into that nipple. So when it goes there, I'm going on this side and hook it up. You see how nice and steady the handle stays there? That bottle, everything stay nice and steady. Let's make sure it's tight enough. If it's not tight enough, make sure you get it tight enough, because you don't want to lose, to spill any fuel. So there it is. Now it's tight enough. And if we go back to this nipple, in the back of the nipple, you see here has a little handle, the black one here. You turn this one down, you push down along the nipple, and if you look at the filter, it start bubbling, it start going down. To make the process faster, you take the upper cap, remove the upper cap. You see how fast the fuel goes down? There you go. The fuel went down all the way to the bottom. Use the wrench, untie the filter all the way through, get it out. I'm sorry, I have to use one hand. I'm holding my phone with the other. Volvos, the most important part is right here, 25 microns. Higher microns we're using, more dirt we're gonna allow to go on a primary filter, and it's gonna give us a different problem. Less we're using, early is gonna clog the filter. So best thing you use 25 microns. If you look on the bottom now, you see all the fuel went on the bottom from the filter. So on the top, you pull the filter out. When you pull the filter out, I want you guys to be very, very careful. There's a gasket here, right on the bottom. Let me show you something. That gasket comes off. And most of the time, there you go, the gas is out. That's how the filter is gonna look. And gasket stays in here. Let me get the gasket better out. Gotta use my other hand, I'm sorry. Drop it on the floor. All right, let's go back here. This is the O-ring gasket I was talking about. If this one's stuck here, make sure you get it out with the new filter. So we got it out with the new filter. We have the filter, gasket, the cap. Now we go back to the new filter and we'll go from there. And the new filter is gonna have two O-rings in it. Make sure you keep both of them. I'll show you where they go. This is gonna be the bigger O-ring. We hang it right here, and it's gotta be another small O-ring, and this will be the small O-ring. Small O-ring is gonna go on top of this cap. This is where the discs go. Now, in order, we don't have any fuel there, so we change the filter. The truck's not gonna start because no fuel in it. What I'm doing next, I go back to the same nipple that I was talking about, where that valve is, and turn the valve up. Let me get a position here. Turn it up. You see how it went up? Now it's locked, it's closed. The valve is closed, the fuel is not gonna drain anymore. So now we take the bottle out. See if I do this one hand. Yeah, looks like I got it. One hand, we take the bottle out. See the fuel in there? The fuel that's left over, you just start pouring in there to get it as high, as much fuel as you can in that canister there. You don't have to worry about if there's any dirt or water. Water is heavier, it's gonna stay on the bottom. diesel fuel is going to be on top, so whatever's on top is going to be cleaned. Just if it's too much dirt and everything, just pay attention to the bottle and try not to dump everything in it. So here it is, it's all the way to the top, to that top line. I'm taking the filter now, the new filter. Again, we look for the gasket. Make sure you have the gasket there. If that gasket O-ring is not there, all the dirt or the fuel is not gonna be filtered. It doesn't go through filter. We put it back on. As again, big reminder, 25 microns. It doesn't matter the brand, can be any brand, but it's gotta be 25 microns for Volvo. That's the one that looks, it works better for Volvos. So we go back to the cap that we took off from there. We pull the bottom part of this. You see what I'm talking about? And here is the second O-ring, the bigger O-ring that we had new. Replace those one. So the small one went on the cap, the bigger one goes on the bottom here. I'm gonna go down a little bit. There it is. It's put back together. Once it's back together, we put it on top. Get the cover. Cover goes over and it start turning clockwise to tie them up. It's a little hard with one hand, but hopefully I can get it. Okay, there it is. We got it in. So use the tool. It's important to have the tool. All of the trucks from Evolve and ELPan can request the tool. We're gonna provide you the tool for free. As I say, save time and money, and for you guys, power on the trucks going up the hill. And as I said, sometimes the trucks doesn't even run 65, 68 miles an hour, whatever the speed will be. So let's figure out here. We tie this one up. It'll be harder with one hand, but that's the way to do it. Double check and verify if there's not any leakage on the nipple where the bottle was in. We look at that, we don't see nothing leaking, so we know there's no fuel on the bottom of the filter now. So I'm taking the fuel, pour the fuel on top through this hole, through the top hole, because right now everything is tight on the bottom. We pour it in and wait for the fuel to get on the bottom of the truck, on the bottom of the filter, my bad. Bottom of the filter. Keep watching, come on, come on, come on. There it is. I see the fuel. You see the fuel there? So we have the fuel on the bottom of the filter. Make sure everything is tight. Put the bottle down. It's tight. Don't over tight it. Hand tight, acceptable force on it. Take the cap, put the cap back on. As soon as you're done doing this, it's very important to start the truck to make sure we don't have any. The truck starts, it doesn't and run, it doesn't have air pockets in there, and the truck won't start. Let's go back, start the truck. I have a key in this truck. The key is probably on the floor. Let me grab a key. We gotta wait for all the bells and whistles for the truck to go around to do the pre-trip himself. The truck is doing a pre-trip. Every time you hear those clicks are sensors and everything that the inspection can write. Turn the engine, and pretty much that's what it is. Let it run for a couple minutes just in case, to make sure it doesn't take all the air out of it, or if there's any air packages in there. So what we're doing, I'll shut off the truck to show you something else. Let's say the truck didn't start, and now we have a problem. What we're doing, we come here on top of on the driver's side, on top of the frame. If you stand up a little bit, you'll see better. And this will be the manual pump. If you push up and down on it, you see how it'll go up and down? That's the manual pump. So what I'm doing right now, by pushing up and down, I'm pulling fuel from the tanks, pushing to the rail to make sure the truck will start. So if you have air there, the truck will give you hard start. That's how you do it. So easy peasy lemon squeezy, save time and money, easy to do.